This government is continuing to implement its own intrastate river linkage program vigorously with state funds by giving it a special thrust. With regard to the goods and services tax, the Government of India should ensure that the fiscal authority of the states is not compromised. The Honorable Chief Minister has already highlighted this issue in the recently held National Development Council meeting. The Union Government should be prepared to consider more radical approaches, including the delegation of the levy, collection and appropriation of the substitutes for value-added tax, central excise duty and service tax within the state, completely to the state domain. The central government should confine itself to interstate GST, customs duties and direct taxes, which are more buoyant and grow with the economy. Without the union government creating the requisite atmosphere of trust among the states, it would be impossible to implement the CST regime. I urge the central government again to view these issues in a broader and more practical way, keeping in mind the federal perspective and giving due regard to the resource requirements and sensitivity of the states, so as to evolve a solution having broader acceptability among the states. The direct cash transfer initiative of the Government of India is not a panacea for all the ills in the present welfare programs. Development is about transforming the lives of the people and not just transforming economies, says Joseph Stiglitz, well-known economist and Nobel laureate. The ideals of transforming lives and eradication of poverty cannot be achieved merely by transferring money to the hands of the poor. Schemes such as the public distribution system and the supply of laptop computers free of cost being implemented in Tamil Nadu have multiple social objectives that cannot be substituted by a monthly emolument. Therefore, government supports the scheme of this government supports the scheme of transfer through bank accounts only for some schemes like social security, pensions and scholarships to students. However, we strongly oppose any move to mobilize and transfer the benefits as cash in schemes like the public distribution system, fertilizer subsidy, etc., where access and timely availability of entitlements should take precedence over administrative convenience. Further, any attempt by Government of India to bypass the state governments and transfer benefits directly to the beneficiary, disguised as direct cash transfer, is not acceptable to this government. Any fund transfer from the central government should be done only through the state government for better accountability. Similarly, allowing foreign direct investment in the retail sector will put the livelihood of the poor, self-employed people in peril. This government therefore strongly expresses its disapproval of FDI in the retail sector. As announced in my previous address, this government has formed the Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Development Board to coordinate and expedite the formulation and implementation of major infrastructure projects. I am happy to note that the government has already notified the Tamil Nadu Tender Transparency Rules 2012 to guide and monitor the increasing participation of the private sector in infrastructure development. The Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Development Act and the relevant rules have also been notified. These structural reforms are only the first steps in institutionalizing the system of speedy clearance of projects for creating world-class infrastructure in the state. The government will soon release the second volume of Vision 2023, detailing the entire list of projects that will launch the state on its chosen road to become the numero uno state in India. Our state could achieve a growth of only 8.05% in gross state domestic product as against the target of 9% projected for the 11th plan period. The poor performance of the agriculture in the industrial sectors in the previous regime has pulled down the state's performance in that plan period. Though the projection of the growth rate of gross domestic product at the national level is only 8% during the 12th five-year plan, our state has set for itself an ambitious target of 11% growth. This government will take all-out efforts to achieve this ambitious target and to ensure faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth during this plan period. I am proud to mention that this government has enhanced the original estimate for the 12th five-year plan allocation from 1.85 lakh crores as announced last year to 2.11 lakh crores. This is 148% higher than the 11th five-year plan allocation. The annual plan allocation for the year 2013-14 will be increased to 37,000 crores from 28,000 crores fixed during the current year, which is an impressive increase of 32%. By prudent financial management, this government will ensure that adequate financial resources are made available throughout the 12th plan period for all developmental schemes. This government is fully committed to delivering transparent, efficient and exemplary governance by focusing on framing procedures and the use of technology. This government will launch an ambitious, comprehensive project formulation, execution and management system which will integrate and computerize the entire process of projects and works implementation in the state right from the stage of preparation of estimates, tendering, award of tenders, execution of works, including measurements, up to the final payment of bills. Such a system will also include an e-procurement portal and the adoption of electronic tendering procedures in government. This is expected to significantly enhance the efficiency of the project management process in various departments and greatly speed up the implementation of projects. The state will soon create the State Residents Data Hub for integrating Aadhaar numbers with the biometry-enabled individual citizens' data derived from the National Population Registry. The SRDH will ensure the availability of a unified data repository to service all departments. This is expected to help government in better targeting, effective service delivery, better accountability and enable effective monitoring of the schemes. This is also proposed to use this data hub for the Aadhaar-based payment system to disburse welfare benefits, besides facilitating the implementation of Aadhaar-enabled citizen-centric service to delivery. This government, headed by the Honorable Chief Minister, has been straining even now to resolve the power crisis, an unpleasant legacy left by the previous government. The daily power consumption in the state has gone up from 180 million units per day in October 2012 to about 210 million units per day in January 2013. The Honorable Chief Minister has already made a detailed statement in this House on 31 October 2012 regarding